So when I was back in primary and secondary school, I played a lot of different sports. And one of those was American football. And there are a few lessons that my coaches taught me back then that have continued to stick with me to today. Number one, you must respect leadership and authority. Yes, ma'am, and yes, sir were required terms. Number two, early is on time is late, and late is... He never finished that sentence. And then the third one is that the pre-game bus ride, you had to treat it like a business trip. Now the bus ride back, that could be used for pleasure and for talking with friends and whatnot. But everything that was done going to the game was intentional. So what that did was instill within the team a mindset of readiness. And when that first whistle blew, we were ready for the game. 2 months ago, I ran my first ever half marathon in Asheville, North Carolina. That day, I accomplished something that I didn't think I could ever do. And tomorrow, I participate in the AJ Bell Great Manchester Run, which basically is a really large half marathon. This thing is being broadcast on the BBC, and the legendary Mo Farah is running in this too. That's insane to me, to think that I'm going to be running in the same race as Mo Farah. We are certainly not going to be in the same heats. He's going to be way at the front, I'm going to be towards the back. And I know that, I absolutely know that, but to think that I'm doing the same thing that he is doing is insane. This is my first time in Manchester, so I would love to go out and to really enjoy the city and see everything that it is, but today I know that I have to treat this like that bus ride before the game. Laid-back guy. I go with the flow really well, and I adapt to my situations. The issue with being able to adapt really well is that I really struggle with forecasting, which I think is why I've really started to enjoy running, because it forced me to forecast. It forced a goal way into my future. Before I did my half marathon back in Asheville, I trained for that thing for 4 months. 4 months I trained, and that was a combination of hill workouts and speed and recovery and long runs, all of which had the intentionality to one day being able to run 13.1 miles or just over 21 kilometers. I couldn't just say, you know what, tomorrow I'm going to run a half marathon. I couldn't do that. So I dedicated 4 months of my life to getting able to actually run that. And then when I crossed that finish line, I was so overcome with emotion that I couldn't even talk. I couldn't even cry. Far too often do I actually start something and not see it through to completion. So for me to say, you know what, I'm going to do this, it meant so much. Running is not truly important. It's not. At least for me. It's not the way that I do life. But it helps me get prepared for life. Running is like that bus ride for me. It helps me become the best me. Tomorrow, I get to celebrate that. I get to celebrate that with so many other incredible runners and people in this community. I run basically all by myself. I don't have a running partner. So tomorrow I get to run alongside a massive crowd of people. And it just reminds me that, we really aren't in this alone. And we all get to prepare for for life together.